BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We started the show early yesterday because we did not do a live yesterday. Okay, if you do not live, I think this camera needs a little bit of wiping. If you were not in New York City yesterday, pardon me. If you were not in New York City yesterday, you don't know how hot it was. It was beaming outside. And as y'all already know, my phone has the propensity to overheat. So what I wanted to do yesterday, and we have to do something about these parks in New York City. We have to have more trees in the parks. We need more trees in the parks. Especially parks where there's basketball being played. You have these guys out there with no shade. It's not a win, fam. There's no shade. We need to figure out a way to put some shade at some of these basketball these parks. You know, at least one or two parks in the neighborhood have some kind of shade or covering over the top of it. Because the sun is killing us, fam. And it's, I don't know what to tell you. Trees is always a win. In any regard, I was going to film basketball yesterday, but it was just too hot. If it was in the 70s, we would have had basketball yesterday. It was not in the 70s. It was like in the 80s. I just didn't want to, because remember, I also have the battery plugged in, so the phone is just gonna get hot. With that being said, today I'm gonna talk more about basketball later, but I want to get into the show. We're gonna be doing roll call at the 5-minute mark. Get your comments in if you want to be shouted out during roll call. Today we're going to actually be talking about something that another YouTube content creator said. I want to be clear about this. We're going to be talking about something that another YouTube content creator said. First thing I want to say is shout out to, I think his name is Bruce Rivers. He is the crime lawyer. He's on Instagram, YouTube. I believe he's probably on Instagram also. He's on YouTube. He has an incredible channel over there. They talk about law all the time. He's an actual criminal lawyer. And I want to speak on some of the things in which he says today. I want to speak on some of the things in which he says today. I talk about that a little bit later. During roll call, I reply to that comment I just dropped. Roll call at the 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark. So we're going to speak about what Bruce Rivers, I believe that's his name, said today in regards to the YNW Melly case. He actually said that the video went up 9 hours ago. So that's after our video went up, just so we can be clear. And the fact that this actual criminal lawyer repeated so much of what I said or what we said over here, just in general, shout out to the Most High, what we said over here, it's just, once again, I think that we have some of the best conversations. When obviously I stay focused. I think we have some of the best conversations about some of these actual cases on YouTube, period. I don't think that there's any channel that discusses these cases better than the BBN Network. I think many people know that, just so we can be clear. I think many people know that. I don't think anybody discusses these cases. So anyway, basically, he repeated a lot of things that I said. And then he said something that was contrary to something that I said, that goes against something that I said. And I want to talk about that. And that's the basically what this video is about. Who thinks YNW Melly is going to eventually get bond to fight this second trial while he's free? Who thinks that that's going to happen? He said something, and it made me actually go back on what I've previously said and said, you know what, I think he's right. There's a good chance that he's not going to get bond. So I want to know what you guys said, especially since I wanted to make this the title, because there's been somebody in here the last 2 days that they've been arguing that he's not going to get out. And I've been arguing that his lawyers is going to try to go for bond. That's been what my argument is. And I guess I kind of just assumed that the legal system would give him bond. But there's a good chance that they won't, and we'll discuss that. And that's what one of the things that Bruce Rivers said that actually go contrary to what we've said on this particular program. Real quick before we do roll call, I'm going to say something. So I went to go play basketball in Kaiser Park yesterday. Basically, I went to go play basketball over there yesterday because the day before yesterday, when I went to our park, nobody went out there. We're having a situation with our rim right now. I don't know when one of our rims, I don't know if or when, it's going to get, anyway. That's neither here nor there. So I go to Kaiser Park yesterday. I played basketball. It was fun. So I didn't go to the main side where everybody plays basketball at. They have a dope ass rule that they have over there where if a team wins 2 games, they sit out 1 game, and then the next 2 teams that had next play, and then the winner of that game plays the team that is the victor of the previous 2 games. It's like, it's dope, by the way. Anyway, so I didn't get on that court because I didn't want to wait too long to play. It was too hot outside to be waiting an hour to play. Real quick, we almost done. So shout out to the dudes that I actually did play basketball with. It was dope. So the last game, this is the only thing I want to say real quick, then we're gonna do roll call. The last game that I played, I appreciate everybody that played, not for nothing, however you feel about the game. Some dude calls next. He gets on the court, right? So we're playing. We're not on the court where you got to switch out after you win 2. So we're playing. So apparently, it seems to me like the whole reason why he got on the court was to go one-on-one against me. Shout out to him. I appreciate the attempt, or whatever you want to call it. So he scores his first basket against me. I don't think he scores again. He might have scored one more time, but I don't think so. In any regard, I closed out the game scoring 3 of the last 4 buckets. And I just want to say something. It's not easy over here, fam. I want to enjoy the game. So the game is playing. I'm just not even talking shit. I'm just talking. But people get upset when you're just talking. They just consider any talking when you're playing basketball, when they mad at you, you talking shit. So I'm just talking like regular. And the dude is like, I'm here to play basketball. I'm not here to be friends. Like, dude, we just at the park. Anyway, let's get to the show. Ronnie Ron says, the doctors say most black people don't get enough sunlight. Vitamin D is low. Yeah, I'm not saying to put shade so don't want to get any sunlight. I'm saying that when you're actually not on the court playing, if there was shade somewhere, or if there was enough tree or foliage that when wind actually blows, it's hitting the trees, that's allowing for that wind to then blow through and cool us off more. I'm saying that would be beneficial. I mean, I don't want to sit here and just discuss science with you, but having the trees around also, just so we could be clear, will have more oxygen in the areas, being as, we breathe out carbon dioxide, and they breathe in it and then release oxygen. So the more trees around the playground will be beneficial in a myriad of different ways. Not just allowing for us also, whenever we need a little bit of relief, to get under them to get some kind of shade. With that being said, let's get to the show. All right, so I want to say something real quick. Shout out to the criminal lawyer, because like I keep trying to explain to y'all over here, we don't do gossip. We're literally talking about actual law. So the first thing I want to say about this, because this is what the video is about. Will he get bond? So I'm saying, and this is what we've said previously, what I believe is going to happen is that his lawyers is setting up a hearing. They're going to ask for a bond hearing at some point, because their argument is going to be that the state does not have a case. Our client's been sitting in jail for X amount of years. The state doesn't have a case. And now they want him to sit in there for how much longer until they figure out a way to try to put these charges on my client that's innocent? This is what the defense is going to go to the judge with. So I want to add a little caveat to that, just so we could be clear. This is something that the criminal lawyer said that I didn't even think about this. So it's allegedly was 9 in favor of not guilty and 3 in favor of guilty. So that basically means, if we're paying attention to this, that the majority of the jury obviously believed that YNW Melly was not guilty. So what does that mean? Now the lawyers can actually go talk to the jurors. They're not going to be a juror again. They can't come up to be a juror on this case again. And the case is over. The jurors could talk about the case with whoever they want to talk about it, including the defense and the prosecution. The defense and the prosecution can now go talk to those jurors to find out what worked and what didn't. All of these things is going to help YNW Melly's lawyer in the next case, because they can't let it go, like I told you before. And I'm going to say another thing. All of this is going to help YNW Melly's case when they go back to trial again. We're assuming that they're not going to let this go. We'll talk about that in a second. And when they go try to get bond, I believe that all of these things will be beneficial. They can speak about all the ways that the prosecution did not prove their case. They're just coming after my client. My client is a victim. He's obviously being set up. This is the music industry. They want his money. They want to be able to put him in jail where they can own the rights to his properties and they can make money off of him in perpetuity. So I believe that the defense is probably going to move in that area of defense on why their client should be free. Look, they've had him all of this time. We've put the trial off more than once because they couldn't get their case together. Now they want to hold my client till win. There's a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. To continue to hold my client is to presume guilt before innocence. Have I said anything wrong? Put it in the chat. If I'm saying anything wrong. I'm not saying that the judge, just so we can be clear, is going to be receptive to this. What I'm saying is that there is an argument that could be made in the court of law that could put the judge in a position. Because whenever this happens, it's usually assumed that the judge is going to say no bond. But how often does this happen where the actual defendant was winning? These are elected positions. A lot of these are elected positions. Guess what elected officials usually do? Go with the majority. If I'm saying anything wrong, put it in the chat. I would like to know what I'm saying wrong. If I'm saying anything wrong, put it in the chat. Nick says there's too much of a possibility that he still did it to let him go in their eyes. Okay, so you didn't hear the whole innocent until proven guilty part, right? So the judge can't assume guilt or innocence. Well, the judge, before anything else, has to assume innocence. The judge is supposed to be the law in the courtroom. The judge is not supposed to make any decision based off of their personal opinion. The judge is supposed to make decisions based on the law. So is there any more opinions that you would like to tell me that should weigh in on what the judge does? But no, I would assume the prosecution 100% does not want him to be free. So you're asking a question that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, Nick, in order to try to win an argument that you created? I'm just asking, because your question has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You want to ask a relevant question instead of changing the topic? Because you know when people don't actually have, when you're losing an argument, they try to ask you a question that has nothing to do with what is actually being discussed. We're not discussing why people are arrested. Why would you ask that question? You're trying to change the topic? Anyway, in any regard. I'm going to not comment back to anything that doesn't involve with what we're talking about whenever it's used, or the question or the thing is said is used to divert from the topic, if you don't mind. So no, I'm not answering that question. You talk about what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you're talking about. I talk about, when I say, is there anything that y'all want to talk about? You bring that up then. Is that fine? I have a whole segment over here where I talk about whatever y'all guys want to talk about. Right now, I want to talk about what I want to talk about. With that being said, the judge has to follow the law. He literally read a whole statute to the jury before he released them and let them go, I believe, based on the fact that the judge is the law in the courtroom. It's the judge's job to make sure that both parties, that the law is represented in the courtroom when a defendant is being held, whenever there's a litigation. It's not the judge's responsibility to make sure that the prosecution get everything that the prosecution wants, nor the defense. If there's any relevant questions, I would love to, or relevant conversations to have on what we're actually speaking on, I would love to have that conversation. But if you just want to change the topic, I'm probably going to ignore. We're not at that point in the show. Now, shout out to Bruce. I think it's Bruce Rivers. I think that's his name. I don't know. He's the criminal lawyer. The judge will always decide if the suspect can bail or not, or how much it will cost, right? So you're just asking more questions instead of just asking more questions. And you're also asking questions that literally, you're just asking more questions. Why? So why are you asking me rhetorical questions? Oh, you're trying to be tricky. So you want to ask rhetorical questions instead of just getting to whatever your point is. Just get to your point, fam. I just called it a rhetorical question. How the hell can you say I don't know the answer? Oh, a rhetorical question is a question that when you say it, everybody knows the answer. So it's rhetorical. It's a question that answers itself. It's too early for this, fam. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's too early for this, man. It's a rhetorical question. Obviously, the judge is the one who decides if bond if the person is going to be able to bond out or not. Obviously, it's the judge. Obviously, it's also the judge that determines the amount. These are rhetorical questions. So you ask rhetorical questions and then want people to answer rhetorical questions? You know the reason why you ask a rhetorical questions is to be a smart ass and be sarcastic. You do know that that's you anyway. All right. So y'all understand why I don't want to talk to this guy. I'm not trying to be a dick, fam. But you coming in here to try to have an argument with me, and I don't want to have an argument. So you have to have a good conversation. Just have a conversation with me. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, fine. But say things that are relevant to the conversation. Don't want to have an argument with me about something else, so you're trying to steer the conversation away from what I'm talking about, so you can argue with me about some other shit that ain't even being discussed. With that being said, Bruce made a point, and this is what I was trying to speak about before, and we actually mentioned it. And when we mentioned it, I kind of said it in the direction of why they want to hold YNW Melly and capital punishment. And the reason why I said that is because there's elections coming up. Remember, they wanted to give the other dude capital punishment and it fell through. So they changed the whole voting. They made it so it did not have to be unanimous now in order for a person to get capital punishment after the person's already convicted. So they want Melly. They're not even making any bones about this. And it is political. But what happens when there's an actual trial and the majority of the jurors say not guilty? Now, do you change your political standpoint on this and say, wow, even if me standing too hard on this might have the effect of I lose supporters. Let's just be clear. Politicians don't care who's right and wrong. They just care who you voting for, them or not. Tell me where the lie at. Homeboy is somewhere trying to figure out how to get me to have a discussion away from what we talking about. He's so pissed. He probably talking to their whole group over there because it's like a group of them. So they probably talking to the whole group over there. Don't get no more on topic than a rhetorical question about something that we already know. Fuck fam. I wanted to have a whole conversation about IQ today, but I'm gonna wait until later in the show. I wanted to have a whole conversation about IQ, but I'm gonna wait until later in the show. A couple of more things I wanted to point out about this YNW Melly matter, and I also want to talk about some shit that's happening with Biden and Elon Musk. For everybody that don't know about Twitter, I was trying to wait for some of our more astute commenters or frequent visitors to the platform that commented here to comment before I brought up the Trump Elon Musk thing, to be honest with you. So we're going to talk about Trump and Elon Musk a little bit later. There is a hip-hop thing I wanted to discuss too. I got to remember exactly what it was because there's a couple of things hip-hop on my mind, but there's only one thing I wanted to discuss. And I want to say something about Hassan Campbell and just what in the hell is going on with that guy. I want to also have a discussion about that. I should have mentioned all of this in the beginning of the show, but I didn't. So I want to be clear about something in this YNW Melly matter. When we have actual lawyers that's getting on their program and they're basically repeating on their program shit that I told y'all before they did their program, 70% of they talking about. I don't think there should be any question that I understand the law. Am I right about everything? No. Who isn't? Who is, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not the Most High. I'm not Christ. I make flaws and I have flaws and I'm flawed and I make mistakes like anybody else. But when I was playing basketball yesterday, and this is why I wanted to tell y'all this, I think what it is people mistake my confidence or my lack of concern for cockiness. So I'm playing in the game yesterday. We're gonna get back to the topic. I just want to explain something else, and I'm using this as the picture, the paint, the show. So what happened was when I was playing yesterday, I was actually bigging up people on both teams. When people on our team did something good, I shouted them out. When people on the other team did something good, I say great job, because that's all I played. But people that wasn't right there hearing it and was off on the distance, to them, I'm talking shit the whole game. So something that we have to understand is sometimes inside of ourselves, we just have confidence. And because of the way that other people perceive toughness or other people could perceive weakness, they're going to see our confidence as something else. They might see it as cockiness. I'm in no way cocky at all. I mean, if I put on a cocky face, you'll understand. I'm just confident. And I have to deal with the fact that the way that my confidence is set up, I make other people uneasy. I make them question themselves. So with that being said, I want to be clear about something. There is no one that is not a lawyer on YouTube that does what we do over here better than us. Shout out to the Most High, because everything is possible inside of him. We have lawyers that parrot what we say. They don't hear us say it, but they say it on their own. And when I tell you this, and I'm going to be clear, they're not going to get this man for that murder. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying he did do it. I'm saying that because the way that everything is set up right now, the way that the defense team, the prosecutor absolutely effed this up, they're not going to be able to get him. They need the two people that he spoke to, allegedly, on the phone that did not want to testify. They need them to testify. So unless they could get those two people to testify, it's a wrap. Unless they could get those people to testify, they can't put Melly in the car. The only person that could put Melly in the car when it happened is Bortland. If he's not talking, they can't put him in the car. There's no reason for Bortland to talk right now. Why would he talk? Why would Melly talk right now? It doesn't make sense, and there's no reason in the world why he should do it. We could talk about all the make-believes in the world. Imagine if Bortland talked. Well, of course, then he's going to get found guilty if Bortland say he did it. That would be an eyewitness. Of course. Like, what are you talking about? You're not even saying a thing. But there was just a mistrial. So now every single person in that county knows about this trial. Everybody in Florida knows about this trial. Everybody in America, damn near. Not because it happened, but because there was a mistrial. So there's people that don't know shit about any of this, that now they're being hit to it. How are they going to have a fucking new trial? There's people that don't even know who YNW Melly is. Now they do. The URL lawsuit, I'll cover that. What is that? Send me some stuff to my DMs. I might cover that. Tell me what that is. Put me on. Tell me what it is in the chat. Tell me what it battle rap. I know what URL is, but battle rap. Put it in the chat. Let me know what's going on. I'll cover it. I'm open to covering it. Why are they gonna be? Do we have supporters for that particular vid? Usually when I cover these things, I got people supporting in the background. I'm just being honest with you. Whenever you see me pull up to any which one of these courtrooms, I've always had supporters. I'm just saying, is there people going to support it? But even beyond that, that might be something to be on. So I might just cover it to cover it. But if I'm covering that, is there going to be supporters? Is there going to be people that's going to come here to watch that? Is there going to be people sharing the content? Is there going to be people that's going to care? Shout out to Brooklyn NASDAQ. Salute. He says salute. I'll cover things that aren't criminal. Why not? If they lose, they may lose ownership, changing the landscape of hip-hop sub-genre of battle rap. URL. Yeah, no, I know who URL is. I know quite a few people that worked for them at one period of time and rapped on there at one period of time. I'm in contact with those guys. Oh, shit, I'm in contact with those. Damn, I know a lot of people. Shout out to Darkwing. Salute. That's why I keep trying to tell people I'm probably a lot more. I probably have a lot more humility than people couldn't recognize. I'm not on here every day saying, yo, I know those people. I was good. Oh, those people. Let me go hang out with those people and be in the cool club. I don't even do that shit. That's not even my time. Shout out to Sebastian Tompkins. He says, good morning, BBN fam. Jack Frost, salute, my brother. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. He says, if you title your lives right, you're definitely tapping into the battle rap side of YouTube. It's a pretty big deal over there. I actually has been offered to go into, and I've been offered to work in conjunction with a couple of different battle rap jump offs. I haven't for whatever the reasons are. But usually it has nothing to do with those guys. I wish when I am able to cover things like that, I will. That's the best way I could say it. I almost had a situation where I was going to had a deal almost going. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I never spoke about it because it didn't come up nothing. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. So I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. As far as it is concerned with when they go back to retry our YNW Melly, every potential juror is gonna probably already know about this case. Somebody put my Instagram in the chat, please. The BBN one. Everybody is gonna know about the case, all potential jurors. So I don't even understand how they're gonna be able to put this trial back on again. I'm just being honest with you. I think it's gonna be extremely difficult. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be difficult. Because how are you gonna find a jury? One of the questions they literally ask is, have you heard about this case before? It's one of the questions they ask. And just so we can be clear, the two attorneys, the prosecuting and the defense, aren't the only ones that say jurors got to go. The judge could just dismiss as many jurors as he fucking wants. Shout out, as far as I know. Shout out to Smoke King. He says, "Good morning, BBN fam. Salute." As far as I know. Just so we can be clear. A judge could just be like, you know what? Thank you for your time. You know, without the prosecution or the defense saying anything. One of the questions that's asked is, do you know this case? Have you heard about this case? Have you looked over this case? Do you have opinions on this case? That's one of the questions that they effing ask. Now, I'm pretty sure almost every single person in that county know about this case. And the neighboring ones. Shout out to Sheikh Loose. He says, salute BBN. Frost, let's go, salute. And neighboring counties. So what are you gonna do? They gonna move it to freaking Cuba? They gonna move the trial to freaking Venezuela? They gonna move the trial to Canada? That probably still isn't gonna help. They gonna have to move the trial to some country. They're gonna have fucking pygmies or some shit. They gonna have to go find some people that don't got electricity. Oh man. They're gonna have to, it's not, how are they gonna get jurists? Cause I mean, I know they're gonna try, they're not gonna just let this shit go. But how are they gonna get jurists? Do you see how hard it is for them to get a jury in the YSL case? Smoking said, yo, they gotta come with a sweet deal and let them make bond. My dude, they gonna the government don't want that dude going nowhere. They want to put him to, like, okay, so we had somebody in here yesterday that said the government might offer him a deal, offer him 10 years, offer Portland 5. They trying to give these dudes the capital punishment, fam. They trying to give YNW Melly the capital punishment, fam. The only deal they could offer him is life. Be right back. They trying to give that dude the capital punishment, fam. How they gonna come back? How they gonna tell the think about this, just one moment. I want y'all to just pay attention to this. How are they gonna tell the previous jury that this guy is such a menace to the whole society that we not only need for you guys to find them guilty, but after you find him guilty, we got to put this dude to death. And then they lose, or there's a mistrial. So now they got to go back and talk to the guy and probably get a deal done. And they go from trying to put him to death to 10 years? Somebody tried to come here and argue that to me yesterday, and they was trying to make it seem like I didn't make any sense. Anybody else thinks that make any sense? Put it in the chat if you think that makes any sense. If you don't think that makes any sense, drop some froze. What up, Guns? Smoke King says, they overcharged him, no weapon, can't prove he was. They can't prove he was there, and they don't got no weapon, fam. I don't even understand how they. Hold on, we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. Gun says, salute BB and Froze, salute. He says, peace, much blessings, be healthy, doing all of the things. Also, if anybody is enjoying any aspect of the show at all, or you just want to show that you are a supporter of the platform, you can become a Green Team member. We need more Green Team members. And if after becoming a Green Team member or before you say, you know what, I would like to also support in another way, you can pull up to the Cash App, the PayPal, the Super Chat. You can also say, I want to wear some of that cool BBN merch. If that is the case, we have a store that you can pull up to, and we also have some merch pinned. Join the Green Team. Earn that shirt. Well, join the Green Team, and then you can buy the shirt that is associated with being a part of the Green Team. Salute. With that being said, Arthur D. Glass says, hit that like button, family. I think everybody should do that. In regards to the comment that was made, they overcharged him, no weapon, can't prove he was there. So if you realize, whenever we watch a case where they're saying that one person took another person's life, one of the biggest pieces of evidence is always the weapon. So, I digress. Shout out to Ben Roman. He says, morning Frost, salute. He says, good morning. I digress, though. I'm going to back up for a second. Let me just say it like this. Just be more clear. In order to prove, or should I say, often an individual isn't even accused of the crime until they have the weapon if there isn't video evidence. So usually they generally try to get the weapon and then associate the weapon with an individual. And that's the basis of the crime. They then associate motive and opportunity. When they don't even have the weapon, they can't prove who had use of the weapon. They can't prove who held the weapon. They can't prove whose weapon it was. Don't forget, one of the biggest things that screwed Tory Lanez up is that it was over and over said that the weapon that was used was his. That was a point that I don't even believe his defense team questioned. So they have zero weapon. And in addition to that, they can't even put the accused in the vehicle. I don't even understand how they went to trial. You know how people go to trial and you be like, yo, dude, why did he even take that to trial? They're going to give him all of the years. There's no way he could beat that. Did he take it to trial and lose and get all of the years? You'd be like, damn. You feel for the dude. Like, shit, he should have just took the deal. Because there was no way he was going to win that. This is tantamount to that. You're accusing the dude of doing the thing. You can't put him where the shit happened at. You have no weapon. You don't have a weapon that you could associate to him or anybody else. This wasn't even supposed to go to trial. What happened was, pay attention. When they get a grand jury to listen, to hear whether this should go to trial or not, they can say things in the grand jury that might not even be allowed to be said in the trial. You get it? So they can have people come talk in the grand jury that they're not even going to call as a witness. Remember, Sarah Molina spoke at the grand jury when they went to go hold during the Treyway case. She didn't take the stand during the trial. So in the grand jury, you don't have to prove that a person is guilty. You just have to prove that we have enough reason to hold this person, to have a trial to see if this person should be held responsible. That's all. So they might not even be able to get past another grand jury, fam. Do they got to do another grand jury, or is it just they just got to wait to set the trial up at this point? I'm curious about that. If we got any lawyers in the house, I would love if y'all guys could go down, actual lawyers, or just somebody that knows. Do they got to convene another grand jury? Because I don't know if they'd be able to get past another grand jury. Ben Roman says, I don't think they're going to give him bail. I'm going to just retry him and hold them immediately. Now they're going to give Bortland a deal to turn on Melly and hold them in new evidence. First of all, I'm pretty sure they're about to give Bortland one of them YSL deals if he take it. They might just say, yo, look, we won't even put you in jail, fam. We're just going to say whatever, and we just let you walk. They might do that shit. Who knows? But at this point, should Bortland even consider the deal? Why would you even consider it? The other one was just a mistrial. These guys don't look like they know what they're doing. Why would you consider a deal? Tori Mosley says Sarah would have a much better life if she stayed loyal instead of rebelling, because he found out 6ix9ine was being a rock star. I don't know what the hell Sarah decided to do, why she decided to do it. I can't know her machinations. But what I can say is, I do believe that if she doesn't go and try to, there's a myriad of different things she could have did differently. But shit, there's a lot of things I could have did differently, right? So we all could do things differently. Life is about learning. So, she was young and she did what she considered to be the right thing at the time, I'm guessing. Maybe she should have stayed more loyal to Tekashi. I believe she should have. But at the same time, let's also understand that there was a situation where he was going to the strip clubs every night and banging mad broads. So maybe she felt the way. So a lot of times when we do make a bad decision, it's usually emotion-based. I'm not even talking about Shadi and Sarah right now. I haven't talked about her doing anything. So thank you for saying that. I didn't even speak on that. Once again, people just putting words in your mouth. But so most of the time we make bad decisions. It's because of an emotional influence, because we're being emotionally influenced one way or another. That's why whenever somebody tries to get me to do something and it's based off a way that they want me to feel about it rather than something that's logical, I consider that manipulation. In any regard, he was in those strip clubs. He was banging broads damn near every night, 2 and 3 maybe, some shit like that. He was sleeping with a lot of women. So at the same time, while we say that she has to do different, we have to also understand that, women often, people in general, but there's many stories about women feeling betrayed and, doing things similar to what she did. So she's not alone. I do wish for her own benefit she would have did a little bit different, for her own benefit. But yeah, I'm not talking about whether her and Shadi was together or not. That's not the discussion. In any regard, I don't know how they're gonna even do, because before they hold a new trial, they're gonna have to convene a grand jury. Roasted says he almost beat her to death. Do you know that to be a fact? And raped her. Do you know that to be a fact? And you think she should have stayed loyal? No, I said that if she did stay loyal, that she would have had a different lifestyle. I didn't say I thought she should have stayed loyal. I actually gave a defense as to why she shouldn't have stayed loyal. I guess you wasn't listening. Yeah, I guess intellectual intelligence. Yeah, not part of me, that was redundant. I guess your comprehension skills aren't where you would wish them to be. Because I literally just defended her in that whole statement, and then you felt the need to say that. So I just defended her in the statement, and he still felt the need to say that. So you got to understand, when people don't like you, they hear whatever they want you, what they want to hear. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Roasted Nuts for being in my chat and hating my guts. Anything else y'all want to talk about? No. We're staying on this topic. We're not switching the topic. My apologies. So we don't know if they're even going to be able to get a whole another one. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know if they're going to be able to get an entirely new trial yet. Do they have to convene another grand jury? Because I don't even know if they can get 12 people to convict at this point with the evidence that they showed us in the previous trial. So grand jury is more than 12, I believe, right? So are they even going to be able to get a grand jury to agree that there needs to be another trial if they have to go through another grand jury? And even if they don't have to go through another grand jury, can they get 15 people? Could they get 15 people to be jurists that don't know what this trial is and also don't have a feeling one way or the other? Because there's gonna be a lot of people that probably feel like the government has a vendetta against this young man. Also, I want to say the defense did a great job. Just so we could be clear, they don't need another grand jury. I still don't think they could get. I don't think they could get a 15-person jury. I still don't think they could get a 15-person jury. So it's of no consequence. I don't think they could get a 15-person jury. Jenna, just so we could be clear, says, I was really hoping Melly would be found guilty and would come home. So you thought him being found guilty would be him coming home, or do you live in the dimension after Earth? Like after you die, that's where you actually live, and you're watching the show from there. You're watching the show from beyond the grave. What up, L Guns? He says, good morning, BBN. Family, salute. Jack Crow, salute. Jen is watching the show from beyond the grave. I can't wait for Melly to get here. Fine. I don't know what to tell you. I don't got the slightest idea what to tell you, fam. I don't got the slightest idea. Shout out to that shit. Not a real shout out. So I don't know if they'll be able to find 15 people to even have another trial. Because right now, I would assume this was a big trial, right? So there was a lot of people that was paying attention, if not watching every single day, at least paying attention, right? What do you think happened after the mistrial happened? Even more people now know about this. People that would never even probably watch hip hop fucking news know about this now. So how are you going to get juries? How are you going to get 15 jurors? I don't even know how much they need down there. Like 15, right? How are you going to get 15 jurors? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Just somebody please explain that to me. Oh shit, my fault. I kicked you for no reason. I'm gonna apologize. I meant to delete the comment and I accidentally kicked you. My fault, Matt. My apologies. All right, but just come in and enjoy the show, fam. All right, just enjoy the show. If you got comments, please, about topics, enjoy the show. I hope everything is going well with you and yours. When people come in and make outside comments, sometimes they could be misunderstood or mistaken. With that being said, I don't know if they can get 15 jurors. Like, are we certain of that? Like, is that really possible? That's one. Two, they still can't put him at the spot and they still don't have a weapon. I believe that this is one of those situations that the defense should be able to win the argument that our client should get a bail at the bond hearing. Smoke King says, what you think about the 6ix9ine Kodak video? I haven't seen the video yet, but I am excited or that people are working with 6ix9ine, because I don't think it's fair that these other snitches, their careers don't get destroyed. If you really knew how many people were snitching, and a lot of these rap niggas know that the other rap niggas is snitching, fam. They just haven't been exposed in the media yet, so they still hanging around these niggas acting like they good. All right. So I'm excited. I'm not necessarily happy. You understand? It's not a happy, excited, like, woo, woo, go. I'm just like, fucking finally. No, I get you was just saying that, Matt. My apologies. I actually just apologized to you and asked you to not put the comment. So I'm going to remove the comment like I was trying to do before. Like, so I don't... L Gunn says, Melly needs to stay out the way, just make music. I don't know what he needs to do. If you're found not guilty of something, like a double murder, should you go disappear? It was a mistrial. So if you have a mistrial for something like a double murder, should you go disappear or should you show people, or do you have to build? Because remember, he's been away from the public for how many years now? So you think that he should still continue to be away from the public? So when is the public going to be able to get, his fan base, be able to get him back? You got to wait a year after he gets free, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. So no, I think that I'm not saying he should do necessarily what Bobby Shmurda did, because he was just everywhere. I thought Bobby Shmurda was too many places. So I'm not saying he should do necessarily what Bobby Shmurda did. I'm just saying he shouldn't run away from too much of the spotlight. He should ease his way back in there. But as stay out of trouble, yeah, nah, you can't be in the street no more at all. You can't even have the appearance of being in the street. You can't even have that appearance. You can't live in a house no more with 10 gang members. Them niggas gotta all bounce. We gotta go find you a wife. Now you have a wife and y'all working on a kid and you making music. And that's what you're doing. And if you're doing anything else other than that, fam, the next time they pull up on you, it's on you. You gonna go handle that. Shout out to Smoke King. He says, if he beats the shit, they'll be the biggest superstar in the world. I don't know, because remember, there's still people that believe that he did it. Nobody is. It's not that I don't think people don't believe he didn't do it. I think people are saying it's still up for the government to prove their case. I don't think people are like, yo, he's innocent. Like, really. His fans are saying that shit. But, your fans are always going to say shit like that. So I don't think anyone is saying he's innocent, I think, or he's not guilty. I think people are saying that the government still has to prove their case. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm saying that if we live in a criminal justice system, that the government can send people to jail when they can't prove their case. I'm saying we can't live in that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not guilty. I don't know his guilt. I don't know his innocent. I know that the government should have to prove their case before they put you in prison. And if they're not held to that standard, there's going to be so many people in prison that's going to have not actually committed that crime. And if the person is in prison that didn't commit that crime, guess what? That means that the person who did commit the crime is free. I'm going to push this over some kind of. Yeah, that's my position, just so we could be clear. That's my position. Yeah, that's why when people be like, you think these guys should be free? And I'm like, I don't think anybody should be free. I don't think anybody should be locked up. But I do think that the government should have to prove up their case, prove that a person has did something, or at least beyond a reasonable doubt. I think too often people have conversations with individuals who are willing to ignore things in order to accept things. So let's say somebody is bad mouthing me, right? So let's say somebody say, yo, this person's a terrible person. He rude. He a terrible person. And let's say that individual see me every day. And every single time they see me, I'm polite and I'm nice and I'm kind. But just because this person tells them about some situation that happened where they're saying that, oh man, he was yelling, he was screaming, he was so he was this and that. Just because this person do that, then you just ignore all of the times that you saw me and I was just a regular guy. You just assume what they're saying is right. Or you assume what they're saying is common, not just something that happened in that moment. And it was like other factors. So that's how human beings are too often. The court system cannot be like that. Our justice system cannot be ran like that. That is not fair. That's literally what people of color had to deal with in the 60s and in the 50s and the 40s and all of the time before then, and in the 70s and in the 80s and in the 90s. Crime bill. We should be against that, not just against government. We need to be against the unfair use of government. So no, I don't think, I'm not even thinking whether he's guilty and or innocent. Smoking says, I doubt the state will be able to get all the witnesses again. The two witnesses that they need, that they were going to use for place and time, is the ones that they need. They're not going to get those two. So it's a wrap. At least I don't know. I don't believe they will. But if something happens and then they're able to get those two, then he's in trouble. If they're ready, if the government has people that could put time in place and they weren't able to get them this time, but if there's another trial they are able to get them, then obviously in that second trial they're going to be able to contextualize more evidence. And being able to contextualize more evidence will literally allow more evidence to be put into the trial. So that means that they'll have more shit to work with in their arsenal. That also means that some of the things in which they did this trial that didn't work will now work because it will have the contributing evidence also attached to it that wasn't a part of this particular witness's testimony, but is a part of the overall grand scheme of whatever they imagined when they drew up their board. If that makes sense. Gunn says, can the feds pick up the case, and do they think they will? The feds could pick up almost any case, right? So it's a murder charge. I mean, the feds could always pick it up, but they still have the same issues. If I was the feds, I wouldn't pick this up. They still have the same problem. They still have the same issues with what they could. It wouldn't make sense. The feds don't want to pick this up so they could go to court and lose it. Don't make sense. Are you getting another year of this trial? Seems like it'll never end. Are we getting another year of this trial? I believe they're gonna try him again. Obviously, I don't know when that is gonna be. This gonna be whatever it is. But I do think that he should be given a bail. Actually, I don't think that the prosecution did well enough for the judge to say we're gonna continue to hold him. I just don't think the prosecution did well enough. That's just my opinion. What the judge is going to most likely do, somebody was saying that the other day, they believe the judge is going to most likely hold him. I heard the argument that, I think his name is Bruce Rivers, gave the criminal lawyer, And he gave a compelling argument. Too bad the dude that was in the chat the other day couldn't actually give an argument. Like they just say a thing. They don't give a reason. They just say a thing and say, Jack, you got to change your mind. And then I'm like, but why should I change my mind? They don't have no actual reason. They just saying something else. That's why I'd be like, you're just saying the opposite of what I'm saying. Do you got a reason? You just want me to change my position because you said a thing? You're not going to even give me a reason? Like, is there a reason why I should trust you this implicitly? We at the 1 hour mark. Should we open it up for all right, what else y'all want to discuss? Put it in the chat. Could I talk about this Biden Elon Musk thing? Do y'all want to talk about Biden and Elon Musk for a second? Put it in the chat. But whatever y'all want to talk about in the chat, I want to tell y'all some Biden Elon Musk stuff. Put it in the chat if you want to discuss that real quick. Obviously, we are still here for this conversation, just so we can be clear. All right, check this out. I need for y'all to pay attention to this shit real quick. Let's talk about this Biden Elon Musk stuff for a second. Just a minute, all right? Put y'all on some world news. All right, so I find this funny. So the first thing I want to say is this. Do you remember when Elon Musk first... Okay, I'll tell you what Biden did first, right? No, I'm going to tell it this way. Remember when Elon Musk first bought Twitter? Do y'all remember what happened? I don't know if people remember what happened, but I'll tell you. He'll say that there was a lot of corruption over at Twitter. Do y'all remember who was the main people who were pissed? Does anybody remember the number one people that was pissed when Elon Musk bought Twitter? Okay, while y'all answering that question, I'm going to tell you another thing real quick. Do you remember when Donald Trump decided that he was going to make his own social media platform to discuss his own topics? And he made like his own Twitter? Do y'all remember when that happened? So Jenna is saying that Trump was the one that was angry when Elon Musk bought Twitter, just so we could be clear. I believe that's what she's saying. No, it wasn't Trump. I'm just explaining to you right now why Trump... Anyway, fuck it. You don't understand what I'm talking about. If I explain it to you, I'm going to be taking here all day. I don't want to take here all day. If you can't pick up on it, my apologies. In any regard, remember, Trump made his own Twitter because he said Twitter's corrupt. Do y'all remember that? I don't know who remembers that, but Trump did that. I think it still exists. Anyway, Elon Musk buys Twitter. He tells y'all Twitter's corrupt. I am not saying that Twitter was corrupt. I'm telling you about 2 billionaires, and this is what they said. So one of the things that Elon Musk did was fire mad people, or he allowed for mad people to quit. I forget which one it was. I think he was gonna fire people, and then people was like, we're gonna quit. And he said, fine. That's what I think happened. Then he changed a lot of policy. Do you remember what he said? He said, yo, look, check this out. This is what Elon Musk said. He said that there were people that worked at Twitter that was taking tweets and they were forcing them into the feeds, and then they was taking other tweets and they was hiding them shits, and they was banning people and all types of other shit. But other posts, they was making sure everybody saw, and it was not fair. Do you remember when Musk said that? He said that there were people paying people at Twitter $5,000 here, $10,000 there to make sure that tweets basically go viral. Do y'all remember that? There was also people that I think they was also paying to have tweets took down. Hold on, before we get to the next thing, before I get to what Biden said, for those that don't know what he said. Do y'all remember when Congress held I forget what they call it, but held session. And at the session, they had people from Twitter on the session. And they was basically asking them why they was deleting tweets. And some of the tweets that were deleted, they were deleting were real doctors speaking about why they didn't agree with the jab. They were deleting tweets for political purposes and agendas. I don't know who remembers this or not. I'm probably putting a couple of y'all on the game. So basically, the other day, Biden said that even if Elon Musk hasn't done anything, he thinks Elon Musk should still be investigated. The president, I just want y'all to understand this real quick. The president of the United States said that the government should harass Elon Musk. I literally just explained why also, by the way. That whole entire story, I told y'all everything. So I explained why also. Because they can't use Twitter now to help them with elections. Now they can't use Twitter, the Democrats allegedly, now can't use Twitter to help them swing votes. Now when shit get put on Twitter that the Democrats probably don't want nobody to see, they can't get the shit pulled. Remember who the people was that was trying to say Twitter was over? The media. The CBS's, the NBC's, the Fox News's of the world. I don't know if it was Fox News specific, but the leftist leaning media. They were the ones complaining about Twitter, saying Twitter's going down. That's why Twitter's fucking stock dropped. If anybody understands the stock market. Interesting. And this is the guy y'all dudes is gonna vote for. This dude literally just said that he's gonna use, or he wants to use, law enforcement agencies in the United States government to go after Elon Musk just because. Even if he didn't commit no crimes, we want to harass him with law enforcement. That's what the president of the United States said, man. I swear, nobody could tell me nothing about Biden, fam. I don't want to have conversations about that, man, because there's nothing I could say positive. If you're a person that's going to vote for Biden, you're literally voting for police brutality. You're literally voting for a police state. You're literally voting for using the police against individuals, whether they committed a crime or not, fam. You're literally voting for the abuse of authority. Literally. Because that's what he said. You can argue whatever you want to argue, fam. You can't argue facts. And you can't tell me what he really meant by anything. But I'm not telling you what he meant. I'm telling you what he said. None of us can know what he meant. But we all heard or can hear, if you haven't yet, what he said. And just for everybody that don't get it, He is basically the commander-in-chief of our armed forces. That's literally what the title of the president of the United States is. What did Donald Trump keep telling y'all? That they're trying to suppress our voices. And literally the Democrats allegedly was using Twitter to suppress our voices. Y'all still gonna go and say Trump is wrong. Y'all still gonna hate Trump. Y'all still gonna ignore Trump. I don't think neither one of them niggas should be president. Just to be honest with you. But y'all still gonna hate Trump. Y'all still not gonna listen to what his actual message is. Because y'all letting the leftist liberals they're just agreeing with everything they saying. You could agree with some of the things they saying, fam, but also agree to other shit they doing is weirdo shit. You could do that. You don't have to agree with everything they saying. Yeah, so I wanted to share that with y'all. I thought that was crazy. I've been looking at people wild for probably a year before Biden got elected that talk pro-Biden. I've been looking at y'all wild. But now, for an individual to be pro-Biden, fam, it's just insanity. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, to me, it's insanity. You should, as always, one of the main things I try to say is that the Democrats should be angry that they don't have better representation. For the people that only want to vote Democrat, you just like, Democrats against the Republicans. For you guys that's like that, I think y'all should be really, really pissed off that y'all don't have better representation. I think as a country, as a nation, because the people are the nation, we should all be angry that we don't have better representation. Period. On Democrats or Republicans, just in general, we should be pissed off that we don't have better representation. But we have to vote better. We have to stop allowing the very loud minority to push the needle further than the quiet majority. So the majority got to start being a little bit louder. The majority got to start being a little bit louder. Most of us are way more conservative than we let on, fam. It's okay to be conservative, fam. It's okay. It's fine. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. It's all right to be conservative, fam. They try to make you think that you have to agree with everything that other people want to do. You don't have to do that. That's the easiest way to end up doing the wrong thing. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. Nah, fam. I don't feel comfortable doing that other thing. That's not part of my lifestyle. Just that's all you gotta do, fam. I don't feel comfortable doing that. That sounds more like a you thing. That's it. People be scared to not be involved. Sometimes just go home. You don't gotta know everything that's going on, man. Sometimes just go home. Another topic I want to discuss. Could we talk about this Hassan Campbell thing for a moment? Could we talk about this Hassan Campbell once again? Shout out to Cheese. My apologies. I don't know his government name. Cheese, Gilly the kid's son. Rest in peace to Cheese. I want to talk about this Hassan Campbell thing real quick. Shout out to Mikey T. Or I don't even know if that's a real shout out, but real shout out. Shout out to Mikey T. I want to make a couple of comments real quick. So Mikey T tried to come out and go at Hassan Campbell, and he just did it in a way that was disrespectful. It was actually pretty disrespectful to Philly in general and the Gilly family. He apologized about that, just so we could be clear. Because I'm going to say some things, and just in case that comes up, I just wanted to be clear. He did apologize about that. He's trying to make right by it right now by going at Hassan Campbell. Please be mindful of this. I like Hassan. I like what Hassan does. I don't want his voice to be quiet. I don't want him to go nowhere. I don't want nothing to happen to him. But you have to know when to not You have to know when to use sugar, and you have to know when to use vinegar. You have to know when to use honey, and you have to know when to use salt. When you don't know when to use these things is when it's going to change from you doing media and being unbiased and giving your real opinions and thoughts to you unknowingly doing damage when you're trying to actually help. I need for all of us content creators that talk about this shit that happened in the street to stop saying niggas need to go get back or they fake. Don't say the people in Philly are fake unless they go kill this kid or whoever it is that took the life of Cheese. Don't say that his family don't care about him because, they didn't kill a person yet. That's crazy. That's insane. That's not even the energy we supposed to be putting out into the world, fam. You're wrong for that, in my opinion. Also, just because he went back to the hood and was hanging out, like, the problem is niggas that never went outside, they don't know how it is. So I'm not sure what street he was on, but to Hassan Campbell, he was just hanging on the corner, smoking beers, drinking beers, and just drinking 40s and smoking blunts. When in reality, he could have just been in one of the spots where people go hang out at, because everybody is hanging out there. For the people who's never been to Philly and you just don't know, they got this one block. It's like a big long strip. I mean, if you're driving a car down that street, you got to do about 5 miles an hour. Real talk. If you're doing more than 5 miles an hour, you're not only going to hit somebody, but the police should probably also stop you. So when we don't understand the cultures of other cities, or we don't understand how other cities give it up, sometimes you got to be mindful of that. You just got to sometimes just sit back, give your condolences. Because when you speak on things that you know zero things about, you really generally, usually are going to be disrespectful, even if you don't mean to be. That's 1, 2. Please, let's stop using every time a young black man gets killed as a way to say, see, I told you so. We don't have to do that every time, man. We know that there's going to be young black men that's going to have their life taken away from them early. Some of them are going to be people of note that we know, and some of them are not. They're going to be unnamed people. We know, or not unnamed people, but not socially known on media. We know that. We get it. But every time somebody passes away, we don't got to point and say, see, I told you so. That's a person that lost their life in. That person was probably loved. That person's going to be missed. That person probably left a legacy. That person, and a lot of these young people, they didn't even get an opportunity to create a legacy. So we need to be more mindful. So I'm not here to go at Hassan Campbell. I don't think that would be responsible for me. But when we talk about people that lose their life, especially in situations like this, that's tragic, and it was by the hand of another, one of the things that we also have to realize is we got to go outside at some point, fam. Just keep that in mind. We got to go outside at some point. At some point, we got to go around people who we don't necessarily know who they are. Do you want to be seen as the person with a hard, callous heart who don't care about others or others' feelings? Or do you want people to look at you and say, well, he says some things that's hard to listen to sometimes, but we know he cares? It's your choice. Once again, condolences goes out to the family and friends and supporters of Gilly the Kid, of Cheese, obviously, and Gilly and Wallow their whole community down there. I'm pretty sure that this has hit them hard. Gillian Wallow has done a lot on social media to try to stem gang violence and situations and activities like these. This is one of those moments where I'm pretty sure that they can use our support. What else y'all want to discuss? Put it in the chat. We went early. We went live early today. We already at the hour and 20-minute mark, and it's only 10 o'clock. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. If you are enjoying any aspect of the show today, you can always pull up to the Cash App, PayPal, and or Super Chat. Or you can go down to our store. We have a merch shop down there. You can cop some of our merch. I'm wearing one of our morning coffee shirts at the moment. And if you also want to just contribute in a different manner, that's not necessarily what you want to do, you can like and you should share, and you can subscribe if you're not currently subscribed. And in addition to that, you can become a member of the channel, where whenever you come up over here, you're going to have green name. As you can see, we have a couple of people in here right now that's a part of the green team. We can always use more green team members. Definitely appreciate you guys. With that being said, what else y'all want to discuss this morning, or is there anything that y'all would like me to go back over? Put it in the chat. Oh, it's an overcast today, so we might go outside. Let me see what the thing is on. Yeah, because when it's burning up outside, I go outside. That's gonna make my phone super hot, and so that creates new problems. We might go outside today, especially if it stays overcast. I'll go outside. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We got 63 people in here. Y'all done already? I know a lot of y'all at work and shit, but y'all done already? Anything else you want to talk about? But that's wild, though, about the Elon Musk thing, because then that just leads me to believe that they really were using Twitter. Trump told y'all they was using Twitter. Yo, how Trump told mad shit that's true, and people still was treating him like he a whole liar. Trump was out here telling y'all mad shit that was true. I mean, I didn't care about most of the stuff, but Trump was out here telling y'all mad shit that was true, and people were still treating him like he was a liar. So hold on. All of this shit that Trump is saying that we find out now is true is the reason why there was an insurrection in the first fucking place, isn't it? Fam! Oh, man. Oh, man. Hold on. So all of this stuff that we are now finding out is actually true, or there's good reason to believe it was true. I mean, the Twitter shit, I 100% believe there's no reason for Elon Musk to buy the company, say all of those things to devalue the company for no reason. Like, the shit that Elon Musk did made the stock price of the damn company go down. He's changing the name of the company now from Twitter to some other shit. I don't know what he's changing the name to, but they got a whole new icon now. They have a whole new insignia, a new bat symbol. I don't know what you want to call that shit. They have a whole new one, just so we can be clear. So he did all of those things that's going to devalue the product that he paid over $1 billion for nothing? In any regard, the shit why they did an insurrection in the first place is all the shit that Trump was talking about that's turning out to basically all be true. So if the majority of the shit that Trump said that we've been able to address has been true, Think about the shit that he said that we weren't able to address yet. Y'all still don't believe that shit? I'm just asking. He accused the Democrats of a lot of things, fam. And it seems like a ton of the things that he accused them of is turning out to be true. What about the stuff that we... What up, LLC? This is Good Morning, BBN fam. Salute. See what happens when people hate you for no reason? This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. Don't hang out around people that all they want to do is badmouth and hate. Don't even do it, fam. Told y'all. There's a whole store I don't go to because I just had so much toxic, not the supermarket. I don't got a choice but to go there for the most part. But there's a whole store over here that I don't go to. And the main reason why I don't go there is because I had to go there this morning because the other store was closed. But the main reason why I don't go there is because I've had so much. It's just every time I go in there, it's like a fucked up ass, like weirdo, like just weirdo shit is happening. It seems I don't know how to say it. Maybe it's me. It might not be them. So I don't go there. Copy. Don't go places that it ain't good for your energy, fam. It might be me or whatever. It just don't resonate with me or whatever the case is. Tori Mosey says, I watched your last laundry job yesterday and laughed at the lady near you talking loud when she saw you alive. That's what they do. Shout out to that shit. But yeah, they just see, once they see me live somewhere outside, they want to disrupt it. You understand what I'm saying? You got to remember, I do something that other people will want to do, but they don't. And so, you know how somebody doing something that you want to do, but you don't, and you could appreciate that and say, good job for them. That's not the way everybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? Some people see somebody doing something that they would like to do, and they think, fuck them. They think they all laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know the individual. So you got to understand the way in which people look at life is the way people gonna look at you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Hope everything works out for her. I don't know what the fuck she was doing that for. But yeah, so they just do that. So that's another reason why I avoid people like a motherfucker. I don't want to argue, so I just be avoiding people. I don't want to argue. It's like, I don't know, people just always assume I want to argue or some shit, so I just avoid people, man. I don't want to argue. I don't know. I don't know no better way to say that. I don't want to argue, especially over nothing. Like, people always want to argue with you because of the way they feel about you. Like, even though you didn't do nothing to them. You don't know them. I haven't done nothing to you. Shit is crazy. Shout out to the kid is back. He says, salute. Frost, Bushwick in the building, checking in. Break at work, salute. Hope everything is going well with you and yours, my brother. Always happy to see your comments. LLC says, sometimes people hate to see you do something great. Keep up the extraordinary work, Frost. Proud of you, my brother. I'm proud of everybody that pulls up in here and have the cojones to comment in the comment section. Remember, their whole thing is to make everybody feel like you can't come into the comment section. That's why they come in here and argue with me all the time. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they come in here and try to put words in my mouth. Because they want to create an argument with me. So the rest of y'all that got sensible minds won't comment. So I appreciate everybody that comments, that come in here, trying to have a conversation. I appreciate you guys. It's a fact. I was walking down the street the other day, and just some random girl just said hi to me, like not trying to pick me up or nothing like that, but she just said hi. I was like, wow. She was black too. I was just absolutely totally confused. I mean, she was probably like a little kid. I think she was probably like 17 or some shit, 18 probably at the oldest. But she just said hi to me. Like, wasn't trying to pick me up or nothing like that, but just said hi. I was just absolutely totally confused. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It felt good to have somebody just say hi to me, like especially a black woman, a female, to just say hi to me, and it's not like some kind of like smart shit. Like I don't get that often, so I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. Shout out to her. Hope she's having a beautiful day. I have a lot of negative experiences, so I thought I'd tell you a good one. Tune says, yo, bro, you still into the DC and Marvel topics on certain days? Wow, what you want to talk about DC and Marvel? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Y'all be look, I'm ready to talk about whatever, whenever. But y'all do know, y'all guys that come in here and we have a good, y'all gotta show a little bit, at least go green team, my rat bastard. You used my man, you used to at least be green team before. Go green team, Tunes. Like, what are y'all doing? LLC, go green team. Kid is black, go green team. Tori Mosley, go green team. Guns, you ain't been here in a while, it's on you. But you guys should be green team. Your guys is in here every day, man. You can't tell me that you don't enjoy the content. You can't tell me that you don't enjoy the content. You're here every day, fam. Go green team. I'm not even telling you to do a drop. I'm saying go green team. Anyway, yeah, what you wanted to discuss involving Marvel and DC? Put it in the chat. We can discuss that. We can discuss movies and shit like that damn near any day, man. I love movies. What you talking about? We are an hour and 30 something minutes into the show. For the people that wanted to know about the actual topic, they can always just start from the beginning. For the people that just want to be in here and we talking and we chilling and we hanging out, they could chill and hang out and they could start the beginning later. I don't know. Or they could just ask me questions and then I could reiterate what I said previously. So, Tunes, tell me what you want to discuss. Put it in the chat. Let's go. You need to. It should be on the. If you try to like send a super chat, it should be a membership button on there. And we have a lot of people that's part of. You could join at any level, but I need more people at the second level. But you could join at any level, but I need more people at the second level. What do you think about the James Gunn report of the whole DC? Okay, so the first Blue Beetle movie is supposed to be the Blue Beetle movie is supposed to be the first movie in the new James Gunn DC. I think they did that for multiple different reasons. One of the main reasons I think they did that is because James Gunn probably plays with humor, tells his story with humor and with better than most of the directors out here. I think he's even better at it than Taika Waititi, because Taika goes too far. James Gunn doesn't. So I think by doing Blue Beetle first, they're doing two things. The first thing is this, and this is the thing that I thought that DC should have did previously. They need to make more movies that don't have nothing to do with their top three. They need to make more movies that don't have anything to do with Superman, Wonder Woman, or Batman. By them doing a Blue Beetle movie, they do that. Also, by them doing a Blue Beetle movie, they do something that all the other DC universes didn't do, and even the MCU didn't do when they first came out. And I was acknowledging that super beings and aliens and all that shit exists off the rip. Now, the next movie that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon, or shit that I want to speak on, is Superman Legacy. The interesting thing about Superman Legacy is that they're gonna say there was heroes before Superman, and I think that that's the win. I think that they've been losing DC. They've been losing by always trying to make it seem like Superman was the first hero to be on the planet. That's not even true in their history, because they got beings that was in existence thousands of years, like Trigon. So I think by them doing it this way, where these heroes already exist and are in the DC universe, as soon as the movie starts, I think that that's going to allow for them to be able to skip a lot of different narrative choices that they would have probably previously need to make, because now, because of the MCU, us as an audience is more accustomed to having a universe where multiple different people exist, multiple different heroes exist. Yeah, but I thought DC Universe should have did that off the rip. I thought, and more than Marvel, DC should have did that off the rip. And that's because of the way that DC Universe's timelines are set up with Earth 1, 2, and 3. You understand? Like Earth, is it Earth 2? Earth 2 is not even in, it's like in the 1950s or some shit like that. So that's in a whole different like timeline. Like it's a whole different period of time. You understand what I'm saying? The way that it's set up. So I thought that they should have always did it that way. You understand what I'm saying? And there's going to be a ton of heroes and villains in Superman Legacy, allegedly. Like Metamorpho is going to be one of them. For everybody that don't know, he's a part of the group The Outsiders. And I heard about a couple of other people. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Any other questions? I think they have where you could become a member now. Like if you're gonna do a super chat, there's the button, the $ button. I think when you hit it now, they allow you to also become a member of the page. You get, I think the options are Cash App. Super chat. I have a merch store, so the merch store should be there also. Stickers, and the fourth one is membership. I think those are the 4 options they give you. I only saw it once, so I think that's what it was. Anything else y'all guys want to discuss? Put it in the chat. As soon as our computer get up, we're gonna be, and I've been saying this for quite some time now, but I'm shooting from my phone right now. There's a lot of things I would like to do, but resources dictate that this is what we're doing right now. So we're gonna be grateful that this is this is an avenue that we currently have right now. We're not gonna be envious, nor we're not going to be envious wishing for a different situation, but we are prepared for it, but we're not wishing for it, but we are prepared. Also, there should be a join button just on the page, by the way. There should always be a join button. I'm not saying it isn't like it's crazy. I'm okay. It is what it is. You're giving me advice that I can't take, but if I could take it, I'll take it. But I'm telling you, I can't take the advice right now because there's a reason. And then you're going to keep telling me that I should take the advice, and you're going to probably feel like I'm ignoring your advice because I'm not taking advice that I'm not capable of taking at the moment. I get it. That's generally what happens. So. Anything else y'all guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I don't want to hold y'all. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have for lunch today. Anybody buying me lunch today, or am I buying myself lunch today? Oh, my knee. Anybody buying me lunch today, or I'm buying myself lunch today? I would really like for one of y'all guys to buy me lunch, but if not, I'll buy myself lunch. It is what it is. If y'all guys buying me lunch, we're going to get some oxtails. Put it in the chat. Fucking knee. I was busting that motherfucker's ass though. I was giving the motherfuckers work on the court though. I wasn't even playing hard really though, but I was giving them work. I was giving them work. I finishing with the left. I was giving them work. Do you think the prosecutors will immediately set a reach out for the YNW Melly? They got 90 days. I think they should just use as much time as they need. I don't think it's nothing they should rush. Hopefully it's not the same oxtail spot. No, it's not the same oxtail spot. It's actually a different spot. They're really good too, though. That other oxtail spot where I had the bullshit happen, that's like the best oxtail spot I've ever been to, damn near. Like their shit is spicy, spicy. Like they have my favorite oxtail so far. This place right here is really good also. Really, really, really good. But that one on Gun Hill Road, the one that you saw, the woman that I don't know what the hell was wrong with her. But I told you, that's how people just respond to me. Like they just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like the way people respond to me is always, I don't get it. Anyway, so no, they have like the best oxtails though. Or my favorite oxtails, you know, because it all has to do with preference. It all has to do with preference. That's my favorite oxtails. They have the spice. Okay, so my favorite oxtails. I don't know if the store still makes it like this, but I think the name of the store is the Green Tree. They're on, I believe, it's over there on 161st, somewhere between like I think it's Gerard, and they're called the Green Tree. They're across the street from the supermarket. Those are the best oxtails. Period. I don't know if they still make them the same. I haven't had them in years and years and years. But if they still have the same recipe, those guys are the best oxtails. Second would be the Gun Hill Road guys. I just want to be clear about this. And not only because I used to date some chick that used to work in that store and she used to bring me oxtails home like 3-4 days out the week. I used to have the large oxtails about 3-4 days out the week. And he used to have all the gravy on it. Or the plate was just busting out the top. Shout out to her. Shout out to Shauna. Do you think his friend will be found not guilty, seeing that they blamed everything on YNW Melly? No. I mean, I'm assuming that they're not charging Bortland with the actual murder. Are they? Are they charging him with helping him cover the crime up? They might be charging him with helping him cover the crime up. They might not be charging him with murder. You understand? Because they can't. He didn't murder them, at least by their own assertion, by their own. They've already acknowledged that they don't believe that Bortland actually did the murder. They believe other things happened. Someone else did the murder, so he's not gonna. It's not gonna be for the murder. It might be as an accomplice or whatever. So you think that dude is sit for 5 or 10? I guess that's what it means. You think he's gonna sit for 5 or 10? That's it. Think he's gonna sit for 5 or 10? I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. Do you think he's gonna get convicted? They might need to. Shit, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know no way right now. I don't know what they should do next. Because obviously they want to convict and then they want to give him the capital punishment. I'm talking about YNW Melly. I don't know what they should do next. They can't even put him at the location and they don't have the gun. I don't know what they should do next. What do you think about Kodak Black dropping the song with 6ix9ine dissing him on the song? I think Kodak dissing 6ix9ine on the song is a Kodak thing. I think if somebody else does it, you feel away. I think if Kodak do it, you don't feel away. That's just such a Kodak thing to do. It's also going to help the song go viral. So 6ix9ine probably doesn't care either. He probably say, you know what, you should diss me on the track. Because I think that's a win anyway. I don't think I've ever given that advice, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did. She said during the trial, they said they didn't believe that the driver knew what was going to happen. Do you think his friend can use that in defense? Yes, but the point is that did he help after the fact? And remember, they're saying that he told a lie to the police. Telling a lie to the police will be covering up a crime, correct? Lying to the police is not a crime, but covering up a crime is. So did you tell a lie to the police to help cover up a crime? So like I said, I don't know what they're going to do as far as they still don't have him at the location and they still don't have a gun. I did something, and they were losing terribly as far as the jury is concerned. So I think they should just try to have it dismissed without prejudice and so they could get their case together. No, I got what you were saying. I got what you were saying completely. I think they should have it dismissed without prejudice and so they should get their case together. Because if they have it dismissed without prejudice, that means that they could come back and then retry him, right? I think they should just have it dismissed without prejudice. But I told y'all they should have did that during the trial. Hold on, didn't I say that? I said that during the trial. Didn't I say that during the trial? They should have it dismissed without prejudice so they could then go get their shit together. Because the prosecution they were terrible. I told y'all that. They should have had it, so they should just have this shit dismissed without prejudice until they can get their shit together. See, because when they have it dismissed without prejudice, then you got to let them go. They trying not to let them go. I did say that. They should have it dismissed without prejudice. I said they losing. They should have this shit dismissed without prejudice. They have it dismissed without prejudice. They get their shit together and they retry him. I said that shit. I said that shit when they was getting whooped a couple of weeks back. I said that a couple of weeks back when they was getting whooped. Told y'all. I'm going to tell you why I think I be having fucked up interactions with people outside. I think they be trying to disrespect me about shit that I don't care about. So they throw the disrespect, but it be shit that I don't care about. And then I think that pisses them off. Stop thinking that people are ways that other lies is telling you they are. Because people like to believe a lie about you so they have an excuse to treat you badly. That's the only reason why people believe those lies about you, fam. They already don't like you. They want an excuse to treat you badly. So that's why as soon as I see somebody treat me badly for no reason, I be like, yep, I don't never want to talk to that nigga again. Shout out to you, fam. I'm not even mad. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Shout out to you, fam. I'm not even mad. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Oh, salute. Salute to LLC. Say he's going to become a member again. Appreciate you. Once you become a member, you're going to be green team. I'm going to see it. It's going to tell us. Yeah, we need everybody to come back to the green team, fam. I'm giving y'all some of the best court commentary on the internet. from a person who is not an actual lawyer or works in, well, I work in a courthouse, but an actual lawyer or work in that capacity. I'm giving the best commentary on these court cases. That's not hyperbole. Shout out to the Most High. All things is possible with him. Shout out to all of the supporters of the platform, the ones that come support openly and the ones that support behind the scenes. Shout out to everybody that support on the platform. Shout out to everybody who cops the merch. You guys are the real MVPs. You have no idea. You guys that cop the merch, real MVPs. I appreciate you guys. For real, for real. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What's the charge look like? If it was more charge, I could walk outside a little. Give me 1 second. I'm right here. Give me 1 second. Put it in the chat. Whatever y'all want, what y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. Hold on. All right. I don't know what we discussing now. I'm not sure. We've been in here 2 hours. I've done talked about all the topics. I think I've talked about all. Toom says, "Crazy, you have so many trolls, bro." Yeah, it's crazy. What y'all want to talk about? I don't want to talk about that. I'm just a magnet for people with problems. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish there was. Um. Oh, the Hassan topic. I just think that Hassan handled the way that he spoke about the passing of Cheese Gilly, the kid's son. I think that he just handled that very irresponsibly. I wish he would have handled that more responsibly. You gotta be more mindful. You don't always have to be the super tough guy. One of the main things I learned about social media is this: um, you don't want to be the super tough guy. You don't really want to have that image. Like, okay, pardon. It's not that you don't want to have the super tough guy image. You don't want to have the I'm not taking no shit from nobody, or it's hard for me to say this. You don't want to have the image of you're walking around looking for a situation. You don't want to have that image. You don't want to have the image of you walking around looking to find people to have problems with. You don't want that image. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of think that it could be taken at times. Whereas if somebody said that about Hassan Campbell, it could be argued that they might be right. You don't really want to have that image because you got to go places where other people are going to be and you want them to be invited. You understand? I'm not talking about kissing nobody's ass or nothing like that, but like if you have your own YouTube channel, that means that you're in some way an entrepreneur or a businessman, and entrepreneurs and businessmen work with other entrepreneurs and businessmen. So you want people to be able to approach you. You want people to be able, because imagine if somebody wants to work with you, but you can't because you was busy disrespecting one of their loved ones. So now they might look at you, see how talented you are. They might love what you're doing, might even think they could use what you're doing in their organization or with their organization in conjunction. But now they can't because you've said a thing about a kid that passed away. You said a thing about somebody's daughter. You said a thing about somebody's mother. So now they can't work with you. You understand what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, people don't think that. They think, you can't tell me what to say. I'm going to say whatever I want to say. I'm a whole dote. And I think, all of us sometimes say things that, we probably shouldn't, whatever the case is. But you can't look for those instances. You can't be looking to be a part of a moment like that. He talk about the door, but isn't he kind of doing it? What you mean the door? Explain. Yeah, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him either. I mean, he has his platform. I think he should run his platform the way he want to run it. But I think us, as anybody, could go live and get any type of people into your group and into your community to enjoy what you're doing. I think that we have at least a monochrome of responsibility to be mindful of the behavior that we encourage. Tori Mosley says, I think Hassan just lashes out on everyone because of what he's been through. Nah, I don't think that's what's happening. What I think is happening is he's trying to speak about specific points that he might agree with. He want to have a discussion about a specific thing that he might, agree with. And something might happen that allows for him to talk about that thing. And while he want to attack that thing, sometimes he's also attacking the thing that happened, even though he doesn't necessarily want to attack the thing that happened. He want to express his point that he's been saying for the last 4 or 5 years, or however long he's been saying it. And I think that sometimes it might be a little blurry to him about when he should, pardon me, I think that sometimes when all of us, myself included, get the opportunity to say, see, I said a thing, sometimes I think the energy in which we're using it to say, see, I'm right, sometimes get misinterpreted as this is something I either wanted to happen or I don't care about what happened. I don't have any sympathy towards the family or empathy towards the family. Like sometimes that energy could accidentally come out. I think that's more than likely what happened. I think dude was just irresponsible. I think he's just. I think he was. I think that was irresponsible. Um, I don't know the whole story about when he did or didn't get touched, how old he was or wasn't. I don't know the whole story on that. I don't think I'm qualified to speak on that. But what I will say is any child that has been molested, um, even if they continue to be a part of the life of the molester, even after they're now not a child, they were still molested as a child. So I'm not going to say that the person liked it. Because sometimes we don't like anything, we just don't know any different. Tori Mosey says he probably hates on hip hop because of Africa Bambaataa. Oh, you just out here making jokes. Rap isn't what it used to be. Bow Wow just recently got asked about the decline of hip hop. Just since you want to bring this up, hip hop has been doing terribly on the charts all year. I don't think anything charted in the top 10. I don't know, something. Anyway, they've been doing terrible on the charts all year. Terrible on the charts all year, right? Hip hop artists. And so they asked Bow Wow about it, and Bow Wow said everybody just sounded the same. It sounded like he just wanted to attack drill music for the most part. But, you know, even when you go outside of drill music, a lot of artists all sound the same. You got a lot of the Atlanta artists that sound like Atlanta artists. You got a lot of the artists that just sound like artists, regional artists. They sound like artists from the area. And I think a lot of people are now doing just similar things. Nobody's being creative. And that's basically what he said also. Basically, nobody's being creative. Nobody's coming up with new ways to do different things. Everybody's saying the same thing, basically. All the chicks is a bitch after a bag, and all the dudes is gonna bang abroad, and you know, whatever the case might be. So for the people that think 14-year-olds have the ability to make adult decisions, that's the argument that pedophiles make as to why 14-year-olds should be able, as why children should be able to decide whether they want to have sex or not. I just want to be clear on this for everybody that's trying to make the argument that a 14-year-old is capable of making adult decisions. That's literally the same argument that NAMBLA, I think they're called, the men that want to be able to sleep with young boys. So I just want you to understand your argument that you're having. So I'm not having this argument with you. I don't think children can make adult decisions, period. So I don't know your position. I'm saying I don't think children should be able to make adult decisions. I think part of the problem we have in society right now is children aren't allowed to be children. And that's why you got 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds walking around drinking and smoking. They don't even know how dope it is to be a kid and have no worries. So, yeah, that part. Just so we could be clear. If I was speaking low, my apologies. Um, I can't tell. There's so many. There's so many people that have been abused at that age and younger and even older that did the opposite of staying away from their abuser. So I can't stand here and tell you that because I would have did a thing, if somebody does different than what I would have did, it's because that's what they wanted. I don't think that that's fair. I don't think children can even make these decisions upon themselves. I don't even think they have the requisite experience in life to make these decisions. Like, we don't live in a day and age where your child's been waking up since they were 7 to go help on the farm. Like, everybody don't live like that. Like, there was a different day and age back in 12 BC and 15 BC. You understand? Just so we can have a clear view on what my point is. I'm not saying that it's impossible for a 12 or 14, but I'm saying in the age and the date that we currently live in, the experiences wouldn't even be able to be had for the individual to be able to have accumulated, or the instances wouldn't have been able to pass for the individual to be able to accumulate the experiences where that would be acceptable. How can you say the community failed them? You don't even know what the intent of the community was. Was the community's intent to raise children? Because if the community's intent wasn't to raise children, then it couldn't have failed them. Is the community intent to make sure that nobody snitches? Then as long as nobody snitched, it didn't fail. What's the intent of the community? Does the community have an intent? So I think that's just something else that people lose out on when we talk about community. Like, are we a community, or do we have elected officials that's trying to go do things for the betterment of our community? Are we actively a participant in trying to make these things happen for the betterment of our community? Are we coming together to help other individuals inside of our community grow outside of ourselves? Are we being good neighbors? So there's a lot more that goes into community other than looking out for every little individual kid or person. What actually goes into the community is making sure that other facets of the community are getting the assistance that they need in a manner so that they can do whatever their responsibility is. Like, if you have a store in your neighborhood that gives credit, you go to that store. Why do you go to that store? Independent of whether you ever need credit or not. That store is a community store. Now, they're going to have all the signs up that say no credit. Those are for the niggas that's not a part of the community. But once you're a part of that community, that store will give you credit. See how that works? Is this a community thing or not? So was his community actively trying to prevent children from being touched by older adults? Because if they were, then yeah, the community failed them. If the community was trying to do other things, then the community didn't fail him. His parents failed him. I think we have a problem with knowing where to place blame when things happen also, just so we can be clear. I think we're often blaming shit that's not the problem. Like, I'm going to say something yesterday. Shout out to the dude that accidentally caught an elbow while playing basketball. So I'm playing basketball yesterday. And so I have this dude on me. Apparently he had been waiting to play against me. I don't know. Apparently he got some kind of issue or problem with me. I don't know the nigga. So I'm going up against him. Anyway, so I hezzy and I go left. When I go left, I go through the hole, right? Because there's the guy in back of him. Basically, I could go around the guy that's in front of me at will. So basically, I'm just usually just looking to see if there's any help. If there's no help, I'll just drive, right? So the help wasn't in position to help him. So I drove, right? When I drove, the dude that was out of position tried to do too much. So when he tried to do too much, I drove past him. I had it in the left hand. I went past him, boom. When I did for my next dribble to move the ball back to this hand, so the guy that was on this side couldn't reach, he over tried to reach. Like he over tried to reach. And so when I crossed the ball over, I'm running. So my arms is going like this, right? And I'm like boom, 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 right? So when I cross the ball over and I'm going to run to go reach for the ball, I reach back like that and I end up elbowing him. Now the point in which I'm trying to make is he didn't get pissed off at me. I didn't do nothing. He like literally, I just literally did a basketball play and he was doing too much. So he didn't get mad at me. So he didn't place the blame on me. So that's how we gotta start like operating. A lot of times we do the thing that caused the problem, but we get upset because we caused the problem, but we get upset at the other individuals that's involved in the aspect of it, like they did a thing when they didn't do anything but do what they were supposed to do. You understand? So that part. So shout out to dude because he ran dead into my elbow. I hit him dead in. Got hit dead in the jaw. He ran dead into my elbow, and it was a solid hit too. I stopped the whole play. I stopped the whole play. I had them dudes beat. I was under the basket with the ball, fam. I stopped the whole play. I didn't even take a shot. He was solid. I thought he was hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hope he's doing better. I hope he was doing like fine. It was a solid hit, fam. But that's what it has to do with placing blame. You understand? Like, I had a podcast. I wasn't able to do the podcast. I had a podcast. While doing the podcast, a person who was working with me in some capacity. It's hard to tell the story because there were so many people doing weirdo shit. But there were some people that were supposed to be with me. They flagged my channel because their whole thing is that they want to always flag my channel because they like to see me kick people. They want to see me kick people out the chat so they could go to other people's chat and say, see, Jack Frost don't let nobody be in his chat. Now, they're supposed to be supporters of mine in any regard. They flag my channel over and over and over every day. And I got in trouble with YouTube at this point. So when I got in trouble with YouTube, I couldn't use YouTube facilities. Now, since I couldn't do YouTube facilities, that means that my podcast had to stop. Because I was shooting the podcast in the YouTube facilities. When the podcast had to stop, the person I was doing the podcast with, to them, they blame me. They don't blame the people who did the thing. And then also those people who did the thing, they're like this with him. Just so we can be clear. These people were like this. They solid. They solid. Like this is they people. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta be mindful when you place blame. It was a pretty good podcast, so it was okay. It was one of the highlights of my week. It was one of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of my highlights of my week. I go to the YouTube Google building. We go up in there, we get everything set up, we do the podcast. You know, they got free lunch in there and shit like that, coffee, whatever you want and shit. Go up in there, hang out for a little while, go fuck with the computers. I go meet other YouTube content creators, Google people. I go talk to the Google people. Like, that was the highlight of my week, man. That's where I met Jerry Springer at. That's a couple of other people. Like, that was the highlight of my week, man. But I mean, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Nobody could go in the building no more. They totally shut down because of COVID. You got to be like a certain thing to be able to get into the building or some shit. In any regard. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We done discussed the whole entire topic. If you want to get back to the topic, y'all can go to the beginning of the video, and we discussed all of the topics, basically. At the beginning of the video, the first 26 minutes of the video, up into the first hour and 10 minutes, and then I think at 1:26 something happens also. Yeah, no, that's what happened. But also in addition to that, that was just God probably protecting me from something. I think that I shouldn't have been doing. Maybe I shouldn't have been working with the person I was working with, for whatever the case is. God is dope. So one of the things that will happen is a lot of times you break up with people because they're doing some shit over there, and God knows about it, and then it just creates a chain of event to get toxic people from away from you. So I'm not saying that that person was toxic or whatever, but the individuals that is like this with them were toxic for me. And so maybe that was God doing some kind of protection with me, because maybe somebody was looking at me, and then the next thing you know, me and this person, we get into some kind of big business deal with some other people, and I'm bringing somebody with me that I shouldn't be bringing with me. You understand what I'm saying? So his own people created that situation. So shout out to that shit. And now, he's going through his own struggles on his platform, because you needed Jack Frost more than you was ready to admit. You want to make it seem like Jack Frost needed you. Jack Frost can't exist without you. Once a person tells me that, I don't want to deal with them no more. So yeah, once you say that, our relationship is done. I promise you. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss nothing. You're trying to make me think that I don't have no success without you. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss nothing. We're done. That's why people be mad at me though, because I don't want to talk about it with you. So you can't try to convince me of nothing. You understand? I refuse to talk about shit. So you can't convince me of nothing. Nothing. Just once you lie to me or once you do some weirdo shit, I don't want to talk about it. That's why they be mad. They be like, yo, I didn't get a chance to tell my side of the story. Why you gotta tell me any side of the story, fam? You did some weirdo shit. It's some shit I can't agree with. I want to be a part of. It doesn't matter why you did it. You did it. What's the charge looking like? Sheesh, fam. We might walk to the store. If we still live at about like 11:40, we might walk to the store. I don't know. We ain't get no drops today. We ain't walk to the store. I'm going to the store though. I thought we got drops, so I was gonna let y'all come with me to the supermarket, but we didn't even get no drops today. So that group of people that would like to go outside with me obviously isn't here. That's my position. What else y'all want to talk about? Inside group. What up, Shakim Govin? Salute. All of the things. Yeah, if anybody is buying me lunch, y'all come into the store with me. If not, I'm gonna do the live up until about 11:40, and I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna get lunch. I don't need you to buy me lunch, but if somebody is gonna buy me lunch, then we're gonna have a longer show and we're gonna do more things. It's just that simple, fam. You can call it whatever you want to call it. The people that hate me is going to say I'm begging. The people that support the platform is going to say I'm giving more opportunities to spend more time talking to me and keeping the live open. So it's all perspective. Shakim, I told you to send me something yesterday. You didn't send me nothing. What happened? Did you send it? Because I didn't see it. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat, because we just bullshitting right now. So just so we could be clear, I just want to say this, and I'm not trying to stunt, but we haven't really been talking about nothing definitively for the last probably 20 minutes. We just been whatever, right? Bullshit. We got 61 people in here. The people that hate me have to work so hard to get 30 people into their room at a max. You understand why they hate me? Had a dude yelling at me the other day with a dirty fucking wife beater on, standing in the doorway of the damn corner store. They got on a dirty wife beater, fam. Outside yelling at people. The fuck? You should be yelling at Clorox. Yell at the bleach, fam. You need to do, you ever seen Flash Dance? I'm just upset that that asshole was yelling at me for no reason. All the haters are watching and make up comments for later. Yeah, they just make up lies. That's all they do. They be like, yo, this is what Jack Frost really meant. What am I going to do? If people, like, what are you ever going to do whenever you say anything, somebody else is saying that you really mean something else? People that you don't know, never talk to, don't know nothing about you, don't even know you. But they busy telling the whole entire world what you really mean. Like, what are you going to do? Obviously, these people got mental health problems. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing. You know how insane that is, fam? For a person to be able to tell you that they reading a nigga mind that they don't even know. For a person to be able to tell you, now these people are not in any way intelligent. They have no real intelligence, haven't shown you they have any real intelligence at all. But somehow they know exactly what another nigga's thinking. I told y'all we was going to discuss IQ. You know what IQ is? For all of the people that think IQ is how much you know, it isn't. IQ is how fast you can learn, the basically how fast you can learn, how quickly you could your comprehension skills, and how much information you could retain. That's basically what your IQ is, fam. That's what your IQ is. Your IQ is not how much you know, fam. Basically, your IQ is how quickly you can learn new things, retain the information, and like basically that. That's what IQ is, man. We talking about people that don't, can't do nothing at all, but to just all they do all day is talk about me. Like, imagine if you had a friend that every single time you talk to your friend, all they do is talk about the guy down the block. Every conversation, that's all they talk about. You wouldn't think that they had a mental health disorder? Just saying, fam. So I'm dealing with people that got a mental health disorder that's telling everybody I got a mental health disorder. So what am I going to do? What you going to do? This one nigga was one day telling me about how much he hated his moms. I guess that's how he was trying to bond with me. So he was telling me how he hated his moms. I don't hate my pops, fam. And I don't hate my mother, fam. I don't hate either which one of them. I do not like the way they treat me, but I don't hate them. I can't really say that much for my mother. I don't know her. I don't like the way my father treat me, but I don't hate him, fam. This dude was talking about he hated his mother and couldn't give me one reason why he hated his mother. And then I think he told me he was molested. A whole dude that be on YouTube talking about me. And I didn't even tell y'all who he is. You understand? He be on YouTube talking about me. This is a fact. He told me about how he hated his mother, apparently. Didn't give me a good reason. He just hated her. And he was telling me all of the things he was trying to do to destroy her life. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, that just goes to show you I'm right. Look. Goes to show you I'm right. Look, they're in the chat right now talking. I'm telling you. Goes to show you I'm right. I'm about to kick them right now, so y'all not gonna see it no more. Okay, so that means that when I go to the park, just so we could be clear, that means when I go to the park, that nobody is gonna be there and I'm gonna get to shoot on the rim by myself. Okay, thank you. You do know that the kids was outside waiting for me yesterday, right? But since I went and played basketball at the other park, I was just too tired. You do know that the kids was waiting for me yesterday, right? So you're lying is the point in which I'm making. You do know the kids was out there waiting for me yesterday, right? You do know some of the kids that's out there playing, I don't even think their parents know English, right? Okay. But yeah, that's the dude right there I'm telling you about. He was just telling me about how much he hated his moms. This shit is crazy. Just like, what did she do? He couldn't even tell me nothing that she did. I think he like kind of alluded that he was getting molested and she knew. I don't know. I don't believe him, by the way, just so we could be clear. Not that I don't believe him that he didn't get molested. I don't believe him that his mother knew he was being molested. I don't believe that. I don't know if he was being molested or not. What the fuck do I know? But he said some shit like basically his mother knew he was being molested by a dude or whatever. His mother knew. I don't believe that though. I think he was lying that his mother knew. I don't know if he was being molested. I wouldn't want to. I don't know, but I don't think his mother knew. At all. I don't think his mother knew. I think he just wanted me to like think fucked up about her. You understand what I'm saying? He let it to be known that more than just his mother knew. But I'm just I was like, what the fuck? He was here telling me, and I ain't say nothing. I just like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't believe it. I met the lady. I don't believe it. I met the lady. I don't believe it. Like, I don't know if he got molested or not. I don't got the slightest idea, but I don't believe she knew. I don't know, but I don't believe she knew. I don't believe she knew. But that's the lie he telling on his mother. Like, I don't know. I can't say she didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what anybody knew, but I don't believe him. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe him. And he's really a big liar. I don't believe him. So I could just imagine whatever lies he's telling people about me. I couldn't imagine. Apparently he's been coming to my neighborhood and trying to get everybody to hate me, apparently. So, shout out to the guy. I don't know what to tell you. Literally coming to my neighborhood, like trying to get people to hate me. Like for real. I'm not even capping. So I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to the guy though. Hope it works out for you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think his mother knew something like that was happening though. If it did, like he could be lying about that also. I think he just told me that because he did some shit and it was gay. So I think he just was like, I think that's why. I don't know, fam. I don't know what to tell you. He did some shit and I looked at him and he was like, and he just started telling me about the situation. So I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes people just do shit, fam. I don't know what to tell you. Like I look down a lot. You understand what I'm saying? Because it seems like when I look up, people get intimidated. Like because I stare at people's eyes too much. So I've been trying to not do that. So now I look down all the time. So now I think people be thinking I'm looking at their crotch or some shit. When I'm not even doing that. I'm just trying not to like create it. I don't want to argue. I don't understand it. You don't understand. I don't want to argue with you niggas. I got other shit going on. I don't want to argue. Yeah, so yeah, shit is crazy. Say he's gonna come to my neighborhood and make everybody hate me. Like I said, okay, what you gonna do? I can't. Nothing I could do about that. Nothing I could do about that, man. Ain't nothing I could do about that, dude. The guy told me this is real talk. I notice I'm not saying who his name is or anything like that. Like whatever it is, what it is. But the guy told me that he got molested, that his mother and another relative, or at least a couple of other relatives, whatever, knew, and they just let the shit go on for years. He's a whole like 4 years. Like it was like, huh? It was like that's the way he made it sound. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't believe him though. I don't know if he got molested. I don't believe his mother knew. That's the point I'm saying. I've met her. She just doesn't look like somebody that you would do something to her child and she gonna stand there and just let it happen. You understand what I'm saying? I don't get that energy. I'm not saying that that's not what happened. I'm just saying I don't get that energy. Give me a second. My neighbor, super cool guy. If his English was better, we'd have such long conversations. Super cool guy. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I don't want to discuss this shit. Shout out to them. Shout out to him. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Little guy too. Guy like 5 foot. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's it. We done. That's it. Y'all done? Nothing else y'all want to discuss? How do I tell somebody, yo, I don't want to say who the person is? So an individual literally comes in. I'm just going to kick you. I'm just going to kick you. So then the person literally tries to come here and ask me a question so they could try to figure out who the person is after I literally just said that I don't really want to tell you who the person is. I'm just going to kick you. Let you go deal with that on the other side. Dame and Harden don't seem like they're going anywhere. You mean trades? Dame is a winner. Harden is not. If I could get either which one of them, I'd want to get Dame. Harden is not a winner. Dame's a winner. Perfect example. There's people that could score a lot of points, and then there's people that could score the points that matter. You get it? That's the biggest difference between Michael Jordan and a lot of these players that played in the era he played. A lot of them can score all the points, but it was being able to score the basket when it mattered. That's the difference. Now, the biggest problem I have with Harden is that he doesn't do anything else other than really score. Y'all gonna say triple doubles, fine. But why does he have so many assists? He has the highest. If you're killing the PER, if you always got the ball in your hands, you're gonna be able to get a lot of assists. Now, rebounds is hustle. Don't get that confused. But how's he getting many of his rebounds? Is he getting his rebounds because he's down low banging? Or is he getting his rebounds because he's put up a layup and now he's getting a rebound off of it? Is he getting a rebound because he's been holding the ball, and he passed the ball when the guy don't have no other choice but to shoot the ball, which is fucking terrible teamwork to keep doing that to somebody. And then he runs to the basket because, the guy's going to probably miss. He's been sitting over there waiting for you to pass the ball for the last 10 seconds. While you've been dribbling up a fucking stone. So there's stats that you could get that don't necessarily contribute to wins. Dame stats contribute to wins. So there's a difference between being an individual who could accumulate stats and an individual who's doing something that's moving the team towards a victory. So when we was playing yesterday, we was losing the whole game, fam. First, the game was supposed to be 21. Then midway through the game, somebody said 16 and they moved it back to 21. When they decided it was going to be 21, we was down 15-11. There's a point during the game we was playing yesterday, I think it was like 14 to like 9 or 10 or something. Like we was getting killed. The whole beginning of the game up until that team scored 15, We had a new dude on the team that he just wouldn't pass me the ball. He just kept passing the ball the other way, so I couldn't help. I wasn't really able to help on the offensive end until the end of the game. And when I was able to help on the offensive end at the end of the game, I shot 3 for 3, including the game winner. Individual accolades don't matter in team sports. For the most part, I agree. I'm going to give an example. When Derrick Rose got injured, he shouldn't even have been in the game. The Bulls was up by like 20 with like 3 minutes left. But these guys are going for all-time stats. They trying to be the all-time leading scorer. They trying to all-time stat in this, all-time stat in that. So when they should be sitting, resting, making, no, because that's sitting at rest, you should probably be sitting and resting. He wasn't. He was on the court playing. He ended up tearing his knee up. And that's into the D Rose that, the first iteration of D Rose that we saw. The super athletic, explosive point guard that it was like, damn, fam. He was busy accumulating stats that didn't matter in the grand scheme of things because the game was already won. That's what a lot of these dudes do. LeBron does it all the time. The other team have no way to come back and win. LeBron's still on the court, getting rebounds, steals, and assists. Well, not steals, but rebounds, assists, and points. Because he's trying to make sure he's the all-time leading scorer in this. He's trying to make sure his stats go up in that. He's trying to make sure he's closer to Jordan in this, or whatever the hell his thinking might be. He literally sits on the side and looks at the stat chart all game, every game. And you ask yourself why he's lost, 7 finals? I don't think Michael Jordan looked at the stat sheet that often, if ever. I don't think Larry Bird looked at the stat sheet that often, if ever. Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. I don't know about Kobe. That sounds like something he might do. Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing. I'm naming greats, by the way. What did Kobe say about Harden? Tell me what he said. Refresh my memory. I might not have heard it, but if I did hear it, refresh my memory. Also, I only said this one other time during the show. Also, if you are enjoying, I think twice. Also, if you are enjoying the show, or you would just like to show some support, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the PayPal, and or the Super Chat. Or you could go cop some merch in our merch store. I'm currently rocking a morning coffee t-shirt. And if you want to take it to the next level, you could become a member, specifically at the Bag Swinger level. What the Bag Swinger level says is you're going to give $10 to the page one time a month while we're in existence. Join the membership team, become a bag swinger. That's one of the best and easiest ways to help support the channel. We need to get up about 200 of you guys. I don't think Harden's style of play will win the championship neither. The way Harden plays, I just told you, he dribble. That means that how many other people on his team could be hot at the same time as him? Maybe one other person? You want to know why Magic Johnson was the hack? See, since Magic Johnson moved the ball so much, he'd have 4 players all hot at the same time. 3 players hot at the same time. You know how hard it is to beat a team who could consistently keep 3 players on fire? You know how difficult that is? When Harden, you lucky, he's going to get hot. And hopefully, if you're lucky, another guy's going to be able to play reasonably well. Because the ball doesn't move enough for people to be able to get into a groove for the most part. He's a terrible player to play with, fam. I don't care how skilled he is. He's a terrible player to play with. He's going to always look good, and you might not. I hate when I gotta stand there and be the guy that you're gonna dribble for 20 minutes to, then pass it to me. That doesn't even give me an opportunity to get a feel for the game. Some people are spy up shooters. Not everybody is that's their thing. Some of us is, we got to get into the groove. We got to get into what's going on. If I got to be a spot up shooter, I'm not going to have one of my better games. But if you want me to do spot up shooting while I'm just playing my game, I'm going to be probably one of the best spot up shooters on the court. Harden's style of play is terrible, in my opinion. Absolutely terrible. All right, I'm about to get ready to go get lunch. Anything y'all want to anything y'all want to end on? If somebody's buying my lunch, we're gonna stay live. If nobody is buying my lunch, we're about to end the live. I got a new thing that we're gonna do in the mornings. During morning coffee from now on, especially when we're shooting in the crib. If y'all buying me lunch, we're gonna stay live, go to the store, cop the lunch, or wherever we're going to get the lunch from. If it's a walk, it's a walk. If it's just the regular supermarket, it's the regular supermarket. But that's what we'll do because I'm just trying to give y'all guys more FaceTime. I know y'all be wanting to be outside. I was gonna go live outside yesterday, but it was so hot and my phone overheats a lot. It's old. My phone is old, man. With that being said, anything y'all want to talk about before we get up out of here, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Put it in the chat. Any questions? Anything? It's overcast today, so it's like no sun outside today. So we might be able to go outside and get some good footage and not have to worry too much about the phone fucking breaking some shit. Sometimes the live cut off when the phone get too hot. It'd be like, the phone is too hot. You can't do nothing. That shit shut down. Okay, that's it. We're done. Everybody, please go out there, have a beautiful day. Do something worth doing, man. And just, do something worth doing, period. Right? That's just in general. But I would love if we can do something worth doing and then stamping God's name on it. Like, let people know that you came in the name of God when you're doing something worth doing. That's good for the world and for the rest of the universe. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification. I'm going to try to have a Tonight Show tonight. We did not have a Tonight Show yesterday because I was just exhausted and tired. I'm going to try to get a good nap in today. I'm going to try to make sure that I keep myself nice and fueled up. And we're going to try to make sure that we can have a Tonight Show tonight. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.